Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you had a great week. I hope it was productive. You got a lot done, and I hope you're looking forward to a restful and maybe productive weekend as well. This is a members chat class, everybody. You need to be a member to join the chat, but you're more than welcome to watch. Lots of learning to be had. We are focusing on the IELTS reading section. Specifically, we're looking at an academic IELTS reading passage today. Do know that the general version of the IELTS exam, section 3, is very similar to the academic IELTS reading passages. And today's topic will be the study of philosophy. So IELTS is very clever at coming up with new topics all the time. So be ready for any kind of reading topic in any field of science, knowledge, or information. Welcome, Carolina, our chat moderator. Welcome, Sarah. Hi, Chen, Domenico. Sarah, I will be looking to give you permissions to moderate as well later today, so look forward to that. Welcome, Yanni. Good to have all of you here with me today. This lesson, everyone, is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. The reading passage that we're using today comes from this website, and we will use this website today to do some listening for reading audio, as well as some exercises. For general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com, where you will find reading strategies and passages, of course, for the general version of the IELTS exam. This is the academic IELTS website here at aehelp.com. Students, members, if you haven't logged in yet, you might as well do that now, because we will be interacting and I will ask you to do some reading and we will work together on this. These classes are interactive, as you know. So click that big red button to join our premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, and it's not expensive at all. It's very affordable, so it's quite worth it. We are an IDP affiliate. We are a British Council partner. We're an IELTS test registration center. I'm a certified British Council agent. We have been helping thousands of students for over a decade to achieve their IELTS band scores. For general IELTS, it's this green background here. Same kind of layout. Click that big red button there that's just above my head to join the premium version of the course. And when you do that, when you click these big red buttons, you can use the code STUDY9 if you're in this class for an additional 10% discount. So make sure to do that and get even a little bit more help to get the right study materials. All right, lots of members in the class. Good to see. Fantastic. So Study9, 10% discount. Apps available in your app stores. Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help. Link the app to the website so you can learn from mobile on the go. Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp, GIELTS Help. If you're learning for the academic, use the academic products. Go to IELTS_AEHelp for Instagram. If you're learning for the general, stick to the general. GIELTS Help. We also have our schedules, our class schedules there as well. And if you have questions for me, send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com. Or you can also send me an email to admin@aehelp.com. We'll get back to you ASAP. Students, we will have a Task 1 writing class for subscribers coming up after this class. So definitely subscribe to the channel. That's easy to do. Just hit the subscribe button on the channel. That way you will also get notifications of all of our other live classes and our new releases like this one here. I'll copy this one into the chat for us there. There you go. Check that out. We've got another new release coming for you within the next 24 hours, so keep an eye out for that. And tomorrow we'll have speaking part 2 for members, speaking part 3 for everyone. Members, don't forget that you can request speaking cue card topics. You can also request task 2 questions. A lot of times students see a question when they're studying or doing an IELTS exam. They're curious, how would we do that? How should we respond? Members, one of the perks of being a member is that you can send me those and I can schedule those, okay? So yes, I know that these preambles can get a little bit monotone for you, but I want to make sure that you're listening. So members, send me your requests, okay? I haven't seen too many in the last few days, so we like getting those, because if you have a question, if you saw a challenging task 2 question, probably other students are thinking the same, so they'll thank you for it. So send it to me and then I can schedule it for a future class, okay? We will have a Light Hall class this weekend as well on Sunday. Okay, Light Hall is a really cool platform for face-to-face live interaction, just like in the computer-based version of the IELTS exam. Chen, I see that. Sure, sir. Thumbs up. That's great. Thank you for acknowledging me. Yeah, Light Hall. It's free class. There's the link for you. It's set up. And I'm looking forward to seeing many of you there. They're becoming more and more popular because they're great. They're real-time video audio chat, IELTS speaking, just like the real exam. Of course, don't forget, students, keep this in mind. Of course, you will see this in your notifications also, but after November 6th, classes will be starting an hour later. That's because here, where I live in Western Canada, we have daylight savings, which has to do with the shorter daylight hours in the winter months. Just so we're in the, it's called daylight savings because this way when we move our clocks back an hour, then we spend a little bit more time in daylight and it's cheaper on electricity, I guess. That's the original reason for it. It's a bit of a headache, I know, but hey, you know, changing the world one step at a time. So classes will be 1 hour later. For me, it will be the exact same time, but for many of you, it will be 1 hour later. That's because here we move the clocks, and then that changes again in March, but we'll get to that bridge then. All right, reading strategies. Let's get into it. Okay. Let me show you the passage for the day. This is it right here. Okay. I just want to make sure that we've got good size here. Yeah, okay. All right, that looks good. All right, so reading passage 2. This is coming from our third exam. It has 6 paragraphs, A to F. A, B, C, D, E, F. Yeah, 6 paragraphs. Student favorite. No, I'm being a bit cynical. Students don't like these questions, but they should. These are good questions. List of headings. I actually really like list of headings questions. I think they're great. I think it's a very clever kind of question that tests the student's true understanding of each part of the passage. And there's something else that's really good about list of headings. List of headings can be helpful. Anybody know why? So list of headings questions, once you learn how to answer these, they're not bad. And our past students all have said, or well, many of them have said that, yeah, okay, once I figured out how to answer these, they're actually quite good and helpful. Anybody know why they're helpful, members? Why are these list of headings questions helpful? It's interesting. Keep in mind that the list of headings questions are the only type of question that come before the passage, right? So they are the only question. Multiple choice, true, false, not given, fill in the blanks, summary completion, all those other 10 types of questions. There are 11 different kinds of questions in the reading. All 10 of the other ones come after the passage. This is the only one that comes before the passage. So that's quite interesting, and there is a reason for that. So these are quite helpful. Carolina says they're paraphrasing. Yeah, so Miles says it's because they give us an idea of what the paragraphs are about. And why would that be helpful, Miles? So why would that be helpful? So why is it helpful to know what each paragraph is about? I mean, there's kind of an obvious answer there, but there is a good answer there as well. So reading strategies. Let's talk about list of headings. Okay. So keep in mind, these are the only questions that come before the passage. Okay, these are very helpful when you can answer these well. Okay, so when you do well with these, let's call them LOH, so I don't have to write list of headings over and over again. LOH. There. That's how we abbreviate them, list of headings. When you do these list of headings well, they are very helpful because, okay, Domenico says they get the gist of how to paraphrase and helps you visualize. Yeah, okay, well, here's the trick, all right? Because they help you answer the other questions in the passage, since you can quickly identify where the information is located. Okay? So let me show you, even before we read here, what I mean by that. Okay? So let's say that we know that paragraph G, I'm just making this up, but paragraph G is using the right tool. It's about using the right tool, let's say. There's no paragraph G. Let's make it C. So let's say that we know that paragraph C is about using the right tool. And then in the questions at the end, let's say that there's a question which is, just hypothetically, it says something like, the best tool for an argument is, and then A, B, C, D. Well, you know that, oh, okay, here I learned from list of headings that that's paragraph C, so I can quickly check that to make sure I have the right answer, okay? So it's kind of like an index, all right? Does that make sense? So when you get the list of headings correct, it becomes the index. You know what index is? Index is in the book when you open up the index page, and the index tells you which part of the book contains what kind of information. So basically, it's like you create an index for the passage. Okay? Does that make sense? And that's why it's really important to do well, because when you do well, it will really help you to be fast with the other questions as well. Okay? So it becomes like an index. Yeah. Yeah, and he says index located at the end of the book. Sure. Here, it's kind of at the beginning, right? It's the list of headings, okay? So, list of headings, what you want to do, okay, here are the strategies. So, some of you have done this before. I'm going to go through this nice and smooth, step by step. So, list of headings, you're always looking for the topic, okay? You have to keep this in mind, all right? So LOH questions require you to identify the topic of each paragraph, not the explanation and not the example. Careful with that, okay? Because some of them will trick you. You'll think it's the right one, but it's not, because it's not the explanation and it's not the example. So you're looking for the topic, okay? LOH is basically always paraphrased, okay? So LOH is always paraphrased, and it is very rare that you will find the same word in the correct LOH as in the paragraph. In fact, often, if you search for a keyword and find it, it will be the wrong paragraph. All right, let me explain to you what I mean by that. So in the IELTS reading, you have to be very careful. There's no shortcuts. So if you're skimming and scanning, and if you're trying to match keywords, especially in the academic version of IELTS, that will not work, and you will often get the wrong answer. Okay, so let's say that you are searching for the word Socrates, and then you find the word Socrates in one of the paragraphs. Okay, so here we found Socrates. Whoop, there it is. Okay, so C must be Socrates. You will actually get that wrong. Okay, that will not be the correct answer. So you have to be very careful. They paraphrase it. So that means that they use different words in the list of headings as they do in the paragraphs. They will be synonyms, antonym negatives, descriptive paraphrasing. Okay, all right. You have to be very, very careful. All right. IELTS is not a game of go fish. So red fish, blue fish. Okay, it's just where you match the color of the fish. You have to understand the language. All right. So of course, the first step then to give yourself more ideas is to paraphrase, right? So you want to paraphrase all of these list of headings in the real test in your head. So basically when you read, and this is reading, everybody, so I want you to read with me. Okay, don't just listen to me, but also read, and read aloud. Okay, you can hear yourself. It's very important to hear yourself reading. Read aloud. Okay. All right. So let's read this. Reasons as the basis for knowledge. So I would paraphrase this in my head, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good. So logic for the foundation of knowledge or information, right? So that would be my paraphrase there. Try this, members. So try to paraphrase this as I'm doing this, okay? The relation between reason and math, right? The connection between reason and numbers. So that would be my paraphrase for that one. The end goals of empirical pursuits, the final purpose of the scientific method. Okay, empirical pursuits, scientific method. Now, some of you are like, well, I don't know these, right? So some of you are thinking, hey, Adrian, stop. Whoa. Push the brakes. I don't know these words. Like, I don't know empirical pursuits, right? Well, when you're at home, Google that, right? So you have to learn it, okay? You expand your knowledge. If you can't paraphrase it, if you don't know what it means, don't worry about it. Just leave it and then read, and maybe you'll learn it as you read the passage, right? So you can't worry or panic about information that you don't know. If there's a giant meteor headed towards Earth and we're all going to explode in a fiery ball of doom, I can't worry about that if I don't know it, right? So I'm not going to worry about a meteor coming towards Earth that I don't know about. When I see it, yeah, then I'll probably start worrying about it. But at this point, I won't worry about it, right? So don't worry about information that you don't know. Always think about what you do know, all right? It's very, very important, all right? So we read these, we paraphrase these. All right, all of them. We do it for all of them. And then we can start reading the passage. But we might want to take a look at the other questions to see what's going on. So we've got this paragraph or summary completion where we have to use words from the reading to complete it. It's a good idea to read this before you read the passage. It's summarized from the passage. So let's do that now. Read with me, okay, students? So let's read together. Here we go. Philosophy teaches us how to reason, which in turn can help us deconstruct something. Students schooled in the precepts of reason are able to differentiate between an argument which follows from the given premises and one that does not and is something. Force of opinion has no impact on the something of the opinion. This is because forcefulness is the wrong something for the job of convincing someone of a viewpoint. In physical battles, the correct implement is something. In discursive arguments, it is something alone which leads to the truth. All right, so it's quite philosophical, which is no surprise. If you're not 100% sure what all these words mean or what this paragraph means, don't worry about it at this point. Don't read the options. We don't know what will be useful, what will not be useful. Let's look at the multiple choice. Mathematics and reason are, okay? So again, some kind of connection between math and reason. Now, hopefully you have figured out that reason has something to do with logic, okay? And then 26, what differentiates philosophy from the sciences is that. All right, good. Now, of course, this passage is a little bit more challenging because it's not such a physical topic. It's not like reading about a building or about a place in the world, Niagara Falls, or it's not about reading about the Great Wall of China. So some easily visible, physical, tangible concept, but it's abstract, right? It's a thought, it's a theory, it's social science, right? So we can't touch it, so it's a little bit more challenging to understand. Students, it's very, very important that when you prepare for the IELTS exam, you read these kinds of passages, because absolutely the IELTS can have this kind of passage. When I did the IELTS exam last time, the one that was like this for me was sociology of the family. So if you think you can't get a passage where they're talking about why study philosophy, think again. They can absolutely put this kind of passage into your IELTS exam, okay? So get ready for it. But don't panic, don't freak out, okay? It's not meant to be insanely difficult, all right? As long as you keep a cool demeanor and a clear head, you can figure out a lot of the information from what you know, all right? So let's go back to the topic, the title. When you have this kind of a challenging title, it's extremely important that you think critically about it. So why study philosophy? What do you think, members? Answer the question. The reader, the author, the writer They want you to answer this question and think about it. That's why they give you this title. So why should you study philosophy? Anybody have an answer to that? So when the title of a passage is a question like this, absolutely make sure to try to answer it and predict it. Okay, that's what they want you to do. That's what the author wants you to do. So why study philosophy? Why should we do that? Why is that good? All right. Fong says maybe to improve critical thinking. That's a very clever answer, Fong. And you're spot on. Absolutely. That is a big part of it. To develop critical thinking. Yeah. A lot of people, our world is very focused on specific skills like computer programming and engineering, but people tend to forget that all of those fields, all of those sciences like engineering and computer science, they all come from the study of philosophy. Philosophy is considered the grandfather of science and knowledge, right? So it's not to be underestimated, the importance of philosophy, all right? Politicians study a lot of philosophy, all right? Chen, very good. Chen says to see information from various viewpoints. Yeah, or Chen, you could say perspectives, right? To understand or to interpret information from different viewpoints or perspectives. Very good. What is the goal of philosophy? So when philosophers are philosophizing, right? Like, what is the meaning of life, right? What is their goal? What are philosophers pursuing? What are they attempting to figure out or trying to understand? So Domenico says thinking outside the box, sure. And Domenico, that's kind of the same as what Chen said. So looking at different viewpoints. Okay, Yanni says improve problem solving. Absolutely. Yeah, Yanni, that's a very clever one as well. Absolutely, because ultimately, the goal of philosophy is to identify truths, right? To figure out the reason for certain elements of existence, right? Yeah, Sanantha, to define principles. Good, so great. Now you're all thinking about it, and that's awesome. Even if you don't have the perfect answer, so even if, none of these answers are the perfect answer, just thinking about it will help you to understand what you are about to read. So that's great, all right? And I can definitely tell that, you've given it some thought, right? Okay. And philosophy is a part of every culture. It's deep-rooted in our human history. It's extremely important. Many majors require at least one philosophy course. So there's a good reason for that. Whether you take engineering or psychology or computer science or political science, medicine, biology, to become a doctor, lawyer for sure, legal system for sure. You're going to touch on the topic of philosophy. So you shouldn't be scared of it. You shouldn't think it's something that's crazy out there and impossible and old school. You should welcome it. Absolutely. Okay. And then you read. So students, we're going to read this here together. And I'm going to play the audio for you. So again, on our website, and many of you have access to our premium courses, which is fantastic. It will tell you that this is reading audio CD3 track 6 on the website. Okay, so let's hop over to the website now. We'll play the audio and then everybody can read along. So read with the audio and start thinking as you read each paragraph, start thinking about what is this paragraph about, because afterwards we'll read this with students and figure out just that, what each paragraph is about, okay? So here we go. Okay, let's hop over to the website. Again, for those of you who don't have the premium package, you can get it by clicking that big red button. It's worth it. It's up there. You get 6 full practice exams, and we're adding more later on in this coming year. So log into your My Student account, and then you've got all this wonderful material here: computer-based practice exams, full interactive course, study plans, PDFs, books that you can print, lesson videos for all parts of the IELTS, and we're going here, the audio CDs. So in the audio CDs, we scroll down to CD 3, track 6, and we click and begin reading. So get ready, students, to listen and read. Don't just listen, also read. And if you can, read aloud so you can hear yourself. Visualize it. Picture what you read as much as possible. Here we go.
Why study philosophy? There are 2 schools of thought when it comes to education. One side believes that education should give students tools for success in life, while the other side believes that education itself is an important goal. No area of study brings this debate to a head more than the study of philosophy. Philosophy, for those who belong to the practical side of the debate, is an utter waste of time. Philosophy provides very few tools for success in life, they say. A common question for somebody studying philosophy is, what are you going to do with it? Those on the other side of the debate, those who value education for knowledge itself, can see that the study of philosophy has many important benefits. The word philosophy derives from the Greek for love of wisdom. Just as it was in ancient Greece, it is those people who love wisdom, knowledge and truth who study philosophy. However, we do not live in ancient Greece, where people had slaves to do all of their chores, such as working in the fields. So what place does philosophy have in today's society? If philosophy teaches anything, it teaches the ability to reason. With reason, one can construct, analyze and find faults in arguments. For example, if all men are mortal and Socrates is mortal, is Socrates a man? What if we change the question to, if all men are mortal and Socrates is a man, is Socrates mortal? Once a student is schooled in the ability to reason, he will see right away that these 2 questions are very different. As it turns out, the first is an invalid argument, while the second is very much valid. Perhaps the next question of the skeptic is, what is the value of reason? This is a very important question. Surely, if philosophy is all about learning to reason, then an ability to reason must be a valuable trait. Arguably, the ability to reason forms the foundation for all knowledge. If an individual holds an opinion which is believed wrong or incorrect, it could be important to convince them of the right opinion. There are a number of ways to attempt this. They can be intimidated, belittled, or bullied into accepting the opposite opinion. However, having a strong opinion does not mean the opinion is any more correct. Many people have strong opinions on all manner of subjects, but of course strength of feeling does not correspond to validity, and it follows that someone who belittles another's opinion is not necessarily the one in the right. When 2 men engage in a fist fight over whose opinion is correct, the winner of the fight may not have the correct opinion, but merely the correct fighting technique. In any disagreement, the right tools must be employed. In a battle of brawn, the tool is strength. In a battle of wills, the tool is perseverance. In a battle of words, the tool is reason. When arguing with reason, facts of the matter are stated and conclusions are drawn from those facts accordingly. Reason is fundamental to almost every intellectual endeavour one can imagine, just as mathematics is fundamental to almost every scientific endeavour. Maths is the language of science, just as reason is the language of discourse and debate. Accordingly, just as society needs experts in mathematics, so society needs experts in reason. The argument should follow that as we all learn mathematics as children and young adults, so we should learn the precepts of reason. Above all, philosophy is pure. Certainly reason is useful in all areas of life, but that does not mean that philosophy's value lies only in its usefulness in the day-to-day. Philosophy is the pursuit of knowledge for the sake of knowledge. There is a beautiful human quality expressed in this. Every other academic discipline is knowledge for some empirical pursuit. For example, engineering is knowledge so that we can construct buildings. Chemistry is knowledge so that we can make drugs, and biology is knowledge so that we can stay healthy. Philosophy has no tangible outcome outside of the pure pursuit of knowledge. The only other discipline which comes close in this regard is mathematics. One is purity in numbers, and the other is purity in words.
All right, so just stopping the audio here. So that's the reading. So use the website, improve your reading fluency. It helps your listening. It helps your speaking to read with this audio. Very, very useful. We're maybe the only IELTS training company that has audio for the reading passages. You don't have that in the real exam, of course, but when you're practicing, it's very useful to use that audio. So I hope members, viewers, you're using that tool. We put a lot of extra effort making sure that you have that available to you. So definitely use it. Okay, so members, what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to volunteer, and we're going to read this one more time. So this first reading that we did, we were mostly focusing on reading fluency, getting a general idea of the passage, building fluency, building our speed of reading. Okay, you should always be working on building your speed of reading. Here's a kind of a fun fact for a lot of you. When you are in university, what is the average number of pages that you have to read per week? And you have to understand it because you get tested on it. So here's a fun fact. If you are planning to do university in the US, Canada, UK, what is the average number of pages? Okay, fun fact. Should have some kind of a chime for that. Fun fact time with Adrian. Okay, so fun fact time. What is the average number of pages a university student in Canada is expected to read each week, and this is from the first year, each week, and learn for tests and exams and projects? Anybody know? Mal says 200, Sanantha says 30, Fuang says 20. Okay, so the answer, the closest one so far, it's the Adrian show. So the closest one so far is, drum roll please, is Mal with 200. Not a bad guess, Mal. It's 150. Okay. Answer, 150 pages per week. Now you're going, well, how do you know that, Adrian? Like, how do you know that it's 150 pages? And by the way, I don't mean to scare you by this, but it's 150 kind of larger pages with smaller text. Okay, so not like your little novel pages, not your little storybook pages, but textbook pages. Keep that in mind, okay? So textbook pages. Which tend to be larger, okay? There's a very simple explanation for this. You're probably like, how do you know this? Okay, so the reason why is because a full-time student takes 5 classes. That's considered your 5 different classes per week. Subjects, sorry, I should say in a semester. Okay. Each class usually covers It's kind of and you'll notice this especially for first and second year. It's very, very true. So each class usually covers one chapter from a textbook each week. And the average chapter is 30 pages. Okay? So it's not, I'm not just kind of pulling this number out of thin air. It's very much the real number, okay? And it really doesn't matter which university you go to. So the simple math here then, of course, is 30 times 5 equals 150, okay, per week. All right, so there you go. All right. So it's about 150 pages. So skimming and scanning, yeah, forget about that. That's just not going to happen for you in university, right? So you have to learn the right approach here. Okay. So 5 classes, 5 subjects, 1 chapter per week, per class, per textbook. That's 30 pages in a chapter. 30 times 5, 150. That average will really come out. Okay. All right. So keep that in mind. When you're doing your master's or PhD, you're easily up in the 300 pages per week of research documents and other topics as well. So 200 to 300. But first, second, third, fourth year students, it's around 150 per week. Okay. So build your fluency, okay? Build your reading fluency. It's very important, along with your comprehension. And these are pages that you have to not just read, but you have to learn as well, okay? Now, don't freak out. It's doable, okay? I did it. Many students do it. Students are doing it now. So you're good. Okay. Domenico says, I had to read a lot when I did a master's degree. Yeah, you do. Yeah, for master's, PhD, it's a whole nother level. Right? All right. So, volunteers. Let's jump back to the website. Hopefully, I didn't throw you too off track with that little fun fact. Student partner speaking. This is what we're using for our speaking and our reading interactions on the website. Click on it, members. I'm looking for you. I need you to help me read and answer these list of headings questions. Okay? Let's do it. I can see some of our members in here already. Yanni, you're in here. Sanantha. For this class, it's a members chat class. Members get first priority. But that doesn't mean we can't take somebody else if they're in here. Masala. Where are you? You're a member, aren't you? Jump into the chat. Okay. So let's take somebody. Let's go with, there's Sunantha. Let's try Sunantha. We haven't heard from Sunantha in a bit. So, hi. Would you like to read the introduction? Read the intro for us, Sunantha, if you're there. Let me call you. Awesome.
Hello.
Hi, Sanantha. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I am fantastic, Sanantha. Thank you for asking. Sanantha, thanks for being my first volunteer today. Let's jump right into it. Okay, now when we're reading Sanantha, because we already read this once, the goal is to just figure out the main idea of the paragraph. So read the title and then start reading the introduction. After the introduction, I will ask you what it's about, okay? Whenever you're ready.
Ready.
Go for it.
Why study philosophy? There are 2 schools of thought when it comes to academic education. One side believes that education should give students tools for success in life, while the other side believes that education itself is an important goal. No area of studies bring this debate to a head more than the study of philosophy. Philosophy for those who belong to The practical side of debate is an utter waste of time. Philosophy provides very few tools for success in life. They say a common question for someone studying philosophy is, what are you going to do with it? Those on the other side of the debate, those who value education for knowledge itself, can see that the study of philosophy has many important benefits. The
All
word
right.
philosophy.
Nope. Stop there, Sanantha. Stop there. No steamrolling into the next paragraph. Okay, so stop there. Before you continue, always, in the real IELTS too, and even if you have no list of headings questions, you need to just stop after you finish the paragraph like that for just a couple of seconds, okay? And you have to ask yourself, what is this paragraph about? So let's do this, Sanantha. Just repeat after me. Ask yourself, what is the introductory paragraph about?
About education, what provides important benefits to students.
Okay, read the very first sentence for me one more time. Just the very first sentence.
There are two schools of thought when it comes to education.
Okay, good. Always pay attention to those very first sentences in the paragraphs. What are the two schools? So it says there are two schools of thought. What are the two schools of thought? So this paragraph tries to tell you that, right? It tries to say, hey, there's two schools here. One side says this, one side says that. What are those two schools of thought?
It's different parts of thoughts from. It's a couple of thoughts.
One side,
Or
right? It says
one
it
side.
says right after, right? It says one side believes that education should give students tools for success in life, right? So it's like, and then we visualize here, like, I should teach Sanantha JavaScript so that she can get a computer programming job and make some money. That's one side of the school, right? And then the other side, and it says here, the other side believes that education itself is an important goal. So the other side says, oh, forget about JavaScript. I'm going to teach Sanantha how to think critically, how to problem solve. I don't know what she's going to do with it, but that will make her successful anyway, right? So there's two sides here, okay? That's what this paragraph is about, all right? If you don't get that, Sanantha, so if you're not clear on this point, when you're at home, don't read anything else. Read the paragraph again and make sure that you get this. You can't just keep reading without knowing what you're reading, right? So if you're not sure exactly what the paragraph is about, then you just have to read it again. And if you don't understand some of the words that you need, then you have to translate those and learn them. And that's the only way to really master the reading and get those high band scores, like those band 8s and band 9s. So here now we know that, okay, there's two schools of thought. So there's one side believes this, the other side believes that. Okay, so now we can look at the list of headings here. Which one of these list of headings do you think is the closest match for this idea that there are two different beliefs, two different sides of what is education or the reason for education? Which one of these Roman numbers do you think is the best answer for this heading here when you read these?
I think number 2, the relation between lesson and math.
Did you read anything about math in this paragraph?
No.
So you should never pick something where you have information that's not in the paragraph. That would definitely be the wrong answer. Okay, keep looking at it.
I think the difference. A sentence debate in education.
Yeah, that's a good one, right? We see some of the important concepts like education. So this introduction is talking about education. And it's talking about two different beliefs, right? So it's a debate, it's an argument, an education. One side thinks that we should teach people how to use a hammer, how to use a shovel, how to use a microwave. The other side says, no, we should teach them how to think, how to create a shovel or an oven or a microwave, right? So it's a central debate in education. Absolutely. So then you would put the Roman numeral 8. Make sure you use the Roman numerals, so VIII, into your answer sheet, and you're good to go. Okay, so that's how it works, Sanantha. So thank you for volunteering. And Sanantha, remember, if you can't answer clearly what the paragraph is about, stop, read it again. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for reading. Bye for now, Sanantha. All right. Sanantha, let's give her a thumbs up. That was awesome. Let's take somebody else. So let's take another volunteer. Again, looking for those members there. And we've got lots of them. Let's keep rolling. Domenico, are you ready? I'm going to be going through the paragraphs and answers with you nice and smoothly now. Okay, so keep rocking and rolling. Pay attention. Students, focus. If I'm getting you to volunteer, respond as soon as possible so we can just get cracking, as they say. Okay, so there we go. Domenico.
Hello.
Hi, Domenico.
Hello. How are you doing?
Good, good. Let's rock and roll, Domenico. Here we go. Paragraph B. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm up for it.
Go for it. You should see it on the screen.
The word philosophy derives from the Greek for love of wisdom. Just it was in ancient Greece. It is those people who love wisdom, knowledge, and truth who study philosophy. We do not live in ancient Greece, where people had slaves to do all of their chores, such as working in the fields. So what place does philosophy have in today's society?
Good. Domenico, what is this paragraph about?
So the paragraph is all about the meaning of philosophy. Why?
Awesome.
Why
Stop. No more. Just that. Stop right there. Don't expand. It's about the meaning of philosophy. Perfect, Domenico. Can you tell me what it is? What is the meaning of philosophy?
Wisdom, love.
Awesome. Yeah, it's the love of wisdom, right? Love of truth. Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Truth.
So when you're doing list of headings, it's very important that you keep your ideas concise. So once you have the answer, don't expand on it. So keep the answer concise. Keep it condensed like that, okay? And then that will help you to answer faster. Okay, Domenico, which one of these numbers matches the closest to what you just said?
So, the truth, philosophy as the pursuit of knowledge and truth.
And Domenico, you just picked up a point and won yourself a car. No, I wish I could, but no car. But you did get it correct. Okay, so yes, that's right.
Yeah.
It's philosophy as the pursuit of knowledge and truth. Why knowledge and truth? Wisdom, right? It's another way to kind of say wisdom. Wisdom is the pursuit of knowledge and truth. And philosophy as, when you see that, the as is the definition. So philosophy is the pursuit of knowledge as truth. We can also say that as philosophy as
knowledge and truth.
Yeah, perfect. That's it, Domenico. Good. So you get it, right? That's how you do it. So you put in V and off you go to the next paragraph. Now, if you're not 100% sure in the real IELTS exam, like if you're like, okay, I'm like 90% sure that looks right, that's enough. You don't need to be 100% sure. 90% is enough. You put V, you put 5, and then you keep reading, because the more you do, the more you read, the more paragraphs you answer this way, the higher your confidence, the more sure you will be as you move along. Do you get it? Because they will kind of start to figure themselves out as you put it all together. Okay?
Yeah, I had another out. I had another out that was the best match.
Yeah.
Because when I had to look through the list of headings, but then I had another out, so I went straight for the option, for that option.
Yeah, and at the start, because you have to keep looking through the whole list, right? Because sometimes there's 2 close matches or 3 close matches. So at the beginning, these list of headings questions, they're a little bit slower. Your confidence is a little bit lower, but the further you progress, the further you go in the reading passage, the more familiar you become with the answers. So it becomes faster and faster and faster, and your confidence goes up, 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 and up. So that's how you do it. Okay, Domenico, thank you so much for volunteering. Hang in there.
Thank you, you too.
Okay, bye for now.
Thank you, you too.
All right, that was Domenico. Good job for Domenico, right? Yanni says a car. Yeah, I wish, Yanni. So, all right, Yanni, since you're having a moment there with the car, let's reach out to Yanni. Yanni, are you ready? We'll get Yanni to read a paragraph and figure out the next paragraph's correct heading. And again, you'll see, students, that once you do this, once you practice this technique, this strategy, list of headings becomes a lot easier, and you really do start to figure it out. Okay.
Jan, how are you today?
Hi, Yanni. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. All right, let's just jump right in with paragraph C. Whenever you're ready, Yanni, start reading from If Philosophy Teaches Anything.
If philosophy teaches anything, it is the ability to reason. With reason one can construct, analyze, and find faults in arguments. For example, if all men are mortal, and Socrates is mortal, is Socrates a man? What if we change the question to, if all men are mortal and Socrates is a man, is Socrates mortal? Once a student is schooled in the ability to reason, he will see right away that these 2 questions are very different. As it turns out, the first is an invalid argument, while the second is very much valid. Perhaps the next question of the skeptic is, what is the value of reason? This is a very important question. Surely, if philosophy is all about learning to reason, then an ability to reason must be a valuable trait. Arguably, the ability to reason forms the foundation for all knowledge.
Nice. Okay, Yanni, what is this paragraph about?
The paragraph tells about the meaning of, the differences between man and mortal.
No, it does not, Yanni. Read the first sentence. It's okay. I'm going to help you out. Figure it out. Okay. So read the first sentence.
If philosophy teaches anything, it teaches the ability to reason.
What is this sentence? According to writing, so if we think about task 2 writing, essay writing, and this is a body paragraph, what is this first sentence called? It's the topic sentence, right?
Topic sentence.
Right? It's a topic sentence. It introduces the topic of the body paragraph. Now be careful, Yanni, because the conclusion and the introduction, it doesn't work the same. Remember, the introduction, the first sentence is usually the hook, right? But for body paragraphs, the first sentence in body paragraphs, and this is why it's important to understand essay writing and essay writing structure, the first sentence is the topic sentence. Okay, read the last sentence of this paragraph from here.
Arguably, the ability to reason forms the foundation for all knowledge.
Okay, what part of the paragraph is this? What sentence part is this? So the first sentence is the topic sentence. The last sentence is the
Conclusion.
concluding sentence. It's not the conclusion. The conclusion is the final paragraph. It's the concluding sentence, right? Or the connecting sentence, okay? Now, we notice something interesting right away, right? The topic sentence is, if philosophy teaches anything, it teaches the ability to reason. The last one, arguably, the ability to reason forms the foundation for all knowledge. Okay, so now we've got it. Now here, I think what's tricky, Yanni, is a lot of people will think about the word reason, like the reason I go to the store is to buy groceries. So it's like the result. And that's the common everyday meaning of reason, but the word reason actually has a lot more meaning in English. The word reason means the ability to argue logically, okay? So reason is not just the reason that you do something, it's reasoning is the noun here. Okay, so one more time, Yanni, what is this paragraph about?
The ability of philosophy.
Yeah, that's right. Ding, ding, ding. There you go. The ability to reason, right? It appears in the topic and it appears in the conclusion or the connecting sentence, right? Ability to reason. What you said before, it's about Socrates, man or immortal. What do you think that is?
I don't know about Socrates.
Okay, well, Socrates is a very famous ancient Greek philosopher, but you don't have to know who he is. But this part, right? Notice this here. Okay, you have to pay so again, you have to pay careful attention here. It says, for example, if all men are mortal. So this part of the paragraph is an example, right? For the list of headings questions in the IELTS, the answer is never the example or the explanation. It's always the topic. Okay, they're always looking for the topic of the paragraph. That's the correct heading for the paragraph. So try to figure out which one is the right answer here for paragraph C. So which one of these choices is the best choice here?
I think is this the 10?
Value of education and practice?
Another. I think it's 4.
4? No, because that's the example. So like I said, it's never the example. Have a look at the have a look at what
the first please.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's this one here. Reason as the basis for knowledge, right? So that's what that paragraph is saying. It's saying that reason is the foundation of knowledge, the ability to reason, right? So reason as the basis of knowledge. So that's the correct one. And Yanni, that's what a lot of students do, is they look for keywords. They look for Socrates, man or immortal, so they'll pick that one, and it's going to be a wrong answer. So that's what I mean by skimming, scanning, trying to match words. It's not the right technique for list of headings. It won't work, okay? You have to understand what you're looking at, okay? And you have to make sure that you're focusing on the topic of the paragraph, not the example in the paragraph, okay? They're very important.
Right.
So for number 16, we put I. Keep practicing this, Yanni. Keep practicing, focusing on the topic of the paragraph, okay? All right?
Okay, sir.
All right. Thank you so much for helping me out with paragraph C. Hang in there and try it for the next ones, Yanni, okay?
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks a lot, sir.
Okay, you're welcome, Yanni. Bye for now. All right, let's give Yanni a thumbs up. I know it's hard. It's challenging, especially if you're not used to doing this, right? So the next paragraph is D. And let's read this one together, okay? So here we go. If an individual holds an opinion which is believed wrong or incorrect, it could be important to convince them of the right opinion. There are a number of ways to attempt this. They can be intimidated, belittled, or bullied into accepting the opposite opinion. However, Having a strong opinion does not mean the opinion is any more correct. Many people have strong opinions on all manner of subjects, but, of course, strength of feeling does not correspond to validity, and it follows that someone who belittles another's opinion is not necessarily the one in the right. When two men engage in a fist fight over whose opinion is correct, the winner of the fight may not have the correct opinion, but merely the correct fighting technique. In any disagreement, the right tools must be employed. In a battle of brawn, the tool is strength. In a battle of wills, the tool is perseverance. In a battle of words, the tool is reason. When arguing with reason, facts of the matter are stated and conclusions are drawn from those facts accordingly. I ask myself, what is this paragraph about? What do you think, members? Without me giving you the answer here, what do you think? What is this paragraph about? Type it in for me. So after reading this paragraph, visualizing it, I saw two people fighting. The winner, yay, was the one that knew Kung Fu or ninjutsu or judo. So they had that right tool. And then there was a battle of climbing a mountain. The person who won was the one that was really climbing hard. Right? And then there was a battle of an argument, and the person who won, the politician, had better logic, right? You can now see why politicians definitely learn philosophy. It's a big part of political science. Okay. Creative Edge says it's about being correct or wrong. Mal says philosophy is based in reason, and it has to be reason that wins. Fuang says the argument or debate between two opinions. Chen says it's tools. In my perspective, it's about the tools in situations. Yeah, so me too, Chen. So the right tool for the right situation. Or I should say it's the right tool for the situation. Right? The right tool for the situation. So now I go back and I look at which one of these has the closest match to what I'm thinking. There it is. Using the right tool. Let's make that one purple because my paraphrasing is green. So using the right tool, and this is the example that's given for me. So I can see that it's correct. So I know that my logic is correct. Interestingly, students, we're using philosophy and reason for IELTS reading. So logic is correct. All right, let's take another volunteer for paragraph E. Fuang, if you're still there, give me a sign. Are you ready to help out with the next paragraph? Chen, thumbs up. Tools in my perspective. You get my double thumbs up of the day. Fuang says, yes, sir. All right, Fuang, here we go. Yes, sir. All right, Fuang, here we go. Hi, Fuang.
Hi, sir. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking. Fuang, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Good to hear. Fuang, all right, whenever you're ready, you can read paragraph E. You should see it on the screen momentarily.
Okay, sir. Reasons is fundamental to almost every intellectual individuals one can imagine. Just as mathematics is fundamental to almost every scientific individual. Math is the language of science, just as reason is the language of discourse and debate. Accordingly, just as society needs experts in mathematics, so society needs experts in reason. The argument should follow that, as we all learn mathematics as children and young adults, so we should learn the process of reason.
Nice. All right. Fuang, what is this paragraph about?
I think this paragraph about mathematics and numbers. and humans should learn math in their life.
Simplify, Huang, simplify. So this paragraph is about math, and what's the other part that keeps coming up? Math keeps coming up, but there's another word that keeps coming up too.
Society.
Not society. What's the very, 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 very first word in this paragraph?
Reason.
Okay, so let me ask you one more time. What is this paragraph about?
Okay, this paragraph is about mathematics and the reason.
That's it. Stop there. Math and reason, right? Good. All right, so keep it simple. Okay, Fuan, keep it simple. You can see the word reason come up quite a few times. So reason is the last word. It's the first word in the paragraph and the last word in the paragraph. Just like I was showing, I think maybe it was Sunantha. You have to really pay attention to the topic and the connecting sentence, right? So math and reason. All right. Which one of these matches the closest to what you just said, Fuang, that this paragraph is about math and reason?
Math and reason. I think 6.
So read number 6 for me.
Math versus reason, the differences.
Okay, is this paragraph talking a lot about the differences between math and reason?
Yes.
Are you sure? Did you see the word differences in this paragraph? Show me where you see the word differences.
Oh. I don't see the word difference, sir.
Okay, so then let's not pick that one. Keep looking.
Okay. I think 2, the relation between reason and math.
Absolutely. Okay, so be very careful. Okay, don't choose answers that include false information. All right, they will catch you on that every time, so be careful. Yeah, number 2 is correct, the relation between math and reason. So this paragraph says that they're similar. It doesn't say that they're different. It says that they're similar. So you got to be very careful with these. All right, you have to make sure that what you're thinking the paragraph is about is matches, and you don't pick answers that have other information. All right, so be careful with that. Fuang, thank you so much for volunteering. That was lovely reading. Okay, keep watching for this last paragraph. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was fun. Yes, so be careful, everybody, especially when you have two answers that are very similar, right? One was the relation, the other one was versus. Obviously, here it's the relationship between the two. Okay, we're looking for one more volunteer. Masala, if you're still with us. Masala, are you ready to read the conclusion? Help us out with the conclusion here, Masala. Okay, thank you for the thumbs up, everybody. That's awesome. Hello, Masala. I cannot hear you. Are you there? What's going on? I know we've connected before. All right, Masala, check out what's going on with your connection. Let's try somebody else for now. Let's see if Ipshita is here. Ipshita, are you ready? I don't see any other members volunteering, Ipshita, so if you're ready, you can finish this up for us, okay? Got Alexander and Ahmed in here as well. Javidan.
Again.
Hi, Ipshita.
Oh, thank God. Finally it works. Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I am doing fantastic. Ibshita, read the conclusion for us. You should see it on the screen here in just a moment. And welcome to our new member, Duan.
Yeah, I'll start.
Yes, whenever you're ready.
Alright, I am starting. Above all, philosophy is pure. Certainly, reason is useful in all areas of life, but that does not mean that philosophy's value lies only in its usefulness in the day to day. Philosophy is the pursuit of knowledge for the sake of knowledge. There is a beautiful human quality expressed in this. Every other academic discipline is knowledge for some empirical pursuit. For example, engineering is knowledge so that we can construct buildings, chemistry is knowledge so that we can make drugs, and biology is knowledge so that we can stay healthy. Philosophy has no tangible outcome outside of the pure pursuit of knowledge. The only other discipline which comes close in this regard is mathematics. One is purity in numbers and the other is purity in words.
Ibshita, what is this paragraph about?
This is basically telling about the purity of philosophy, so to say.
Awesome. Very nice, Ibshita. Yeah, if you think it, be confident in it. Absolutely. I agree with you. It's talking about the purity of philosophy. Which one of these answers matches the closest to what you just said?
The last one,
Can you read it for me?
purity as beauty.
Very nice, Ibshita. And you also win yourself a nice big point. That was 11, right? XI. Yes, it is. Yes, absolutely. Purity is as beauty. So it's saying that philosophy is pure, math is pure, and that's a beautiful part of these studies. So philosophy or purity as beauty. Absolutely. XI, you mark it, you're done. You go to the next questions, and that's exactly what you do. So you go and you start answering the paragraph. So now that we have all of this knowledge, now that we have much better understanding of the whole passage, we can do the complete the summary using the list of words below. So we have a list of words here. There's a whole bunch of them, A to M. You don't have to worry about the choices yet. The way to do the summary completion is you start reading it, okay? So I'll get you to help me out with one or two more questions here. Ibshita, go ahead and start reading from here. Philosophy teaches us how to reason. Read that part, Ibshita.
Alright. Yeah. Philosophy teaches how to reason, which in turn can help us deconstruct.
Deconstruct what? So it helps us to reason, which in turn helps us deconstruct. So what would you put in here? Don't look at the answers if possible, just from your own ideas or your own thoughts. What does it help us deconstruct?
Maybe thinking or
Yeah. Okay. So you thought it's maybe thinking is the correct answer?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
or maybe. Yeah, I'm actually a little confused because
I like what you're
think
saying. I like what you're saying. So you said thinking. Okay. What do you think it is?
Deconstruct. I think it's along the lines of thinking, but I'm not quite sure about it.
Okay, but I like it. I like how you're thinking. Okay, so you're saying it's along the lines of thinking, but I'm not sure about it. Okay, we'll have a look at the choices. Which one of these words is along the lines of thinking? So have a look at those.
I see only opinions.
Look at all of them. So So you're thinking, okay, F
Thoughts.
could be.
Oh, right, of course. Thoughts.
Okay, so you think maybe opinions, maybe thoughts. Okay, keep going. What other one could it be?
Arguments.
Okay, good. All right, fantastic. You're doing really well. So and it's a tough one. This is a challenging one. Okay, so you're thinking, okay, maybe thoughts, maybe opinions, maybe arguments. If you think about this passage, okay, all three of these are kind of thinking. So I think, you're on the right track. If you think about this passage, which one of these three, thoughts, opinions, arguments, which one of these three is the one that's kind of mentioned in this passage again and again?
I have seen arguments and
And you just picked up
opinions
a
as
point.
well.
Arguments. You just picked up a point. Always go with your first one. Okay. So in
All
in this paragraph, in this passage, in several different paragraphs, it says argument this, argument that, fighting this, fighting that,
Yes.
the ability to reason, right? So deconstruct or understand arguments, right? So arguments is the correct answer. And that's a really tricky one. So that's like a band 8, band 9 level question. Okay. But if you use good logic, good reason that you just did, then you can figure it out. And if you don't figure it out, like if you don't know, if you're like Adrian, wow, that's really a tough one, you can put all three. So you can put C, F, and H, and then keep going. And at the end, you might have more information so you can figure out that it's H. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you can just keep all three. So in my answer sheet or in my notes, I would just go, okay, C, F, H, and then I would leave a little question mark here for myself, and then I would keep reading. And then at the end, I would come back and go, oh, okay, I realize now that it's H because I used C here and I used F here. I'm not sure if that's the way it will be, but it kind of helps. So as long as you have an idea of what it could be, you're on the right track. Does that make sense?
It does. You're basically using process of elimination in a way.
Yes, combined with logic. So combining process of elimination with logic. Absolutely. Yes, definitely. Okay, Ipshita, you did amazing. Thank you so much for volunteering.
Thank you so much, Adrian, for giving me some time. I was a little tensed.
Yeah, no, you did great. Thank you. Bye, Ipshita.
Bye.
Okay, that was Ipshita. Very clever, very good logic, Ipshita. Very good critical thinking. Somebody want to help me with a few more of these? Who's still in there? Alexander's still hanging on. Alexander, there you are. Are you ready? Doing good, students. This is how we do it, right? And this is how we learn. Doan, you're a new member. Get in there. Get into the chat. If you're not sure how, maybe somebody can help you out and let you know how you join the chat here, the audio chat, I mean. So Alexander, yes, you're there. There you are. Alexander.
Yes, hello.
You sound, I can hear you, but you sound like you're 1,000 kilometers from me. Well, you're probably more than that. So you need to be a little bit louder.
How about now?
Much better.
Oh, sorry, I use microphone.
How are you?
Oh, much better when you have chosen me. I feel much better.
All right. Okay.
As always.
Good. All right. Well, let's get into it, Alexander. So whenever you're ready, start reading the summary completion question from students schooled in the precepts. Go from there.
So let me open it first.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So students schooled in the precepts of reason. That's where we're continuing from.
Students schooled in the precepts of reason are able to differentiate between an argument which follows from the given premises and one that does not and is
Something.
something there.
Okay. What do you think that is? So students, let's take out the key elements, right? So students are able to differentiate between an argument which follows from a given premises and one that does not and is. How would you finish that in a very simple way? So you've studied philosophy. Philosophy is giving you the tool to reason, so you can figure out that that logic is correct, that one is not, because why? Why is it wrong?
Is not true.
Okay, good. So it's not the truth, right? Have a look at the possible choices. Now, be careful here, because I can tell that you're not sure on truth. So maybe there's another word there that might be similar to truth, but a little bit better. Think about.
Is not valid.
There you go, Alexander. See, I knew you could do it. It's not valid, right? What's the difference between the concept of truth and validity? So how are those two? They're very similar concepts, right? Truth and valid, very, very similar. What's the difference? When do we usually say, or when do we usually use the word valid?
In my view, truth can be different for different period of time. and so valid is relative to current situation or current moment.
So in academics, in professional life, in school, we like to use the word valid more than we like to use the word truth, right? Because truth is more subjective, valid is more objective, right? And this is academic, so we're looking at that. Keep going, Alexander, from force of.
Force of opinion has no impact on the of the opinion.
Okay, what do you think that one is?
Force of opinion has no impact on the strength. I don't see all choices. Can you show me if it will be done?
There you go.
On the what is perseverance?
Sorry. Perseverance. If you don't know it, don't choose it. What did you want to choose? Strength? You said strength.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you choose it? Stay with it. If you said it, even without reading it, you should stay with it, because it's one of the choices, right? So stay with it. G. Okay. Sure. All right. Keep going.
This is because forcefulness of the wrong opinions for the job of convincing someone of a viewpoint. This is because forcefulness is the wrong reason for the job of convincing someone of a viewpoint. Or wrong tool.
Which one do you think is better?
Wrong tool, I guess.
And you guessed right. Look at you go, Alexander.
Yeah.
Just knocking them out of the park, right? Good. So you're using logic. You're thinking of the passage. Remember, the passage talked about tools, using the right tool for the argument, right? So tool it is. You're doing fantastic, Alexander. Keep going.
Thank you. In physical battles, the correct implement is
Not sure. Keep going. Don't worry about it. Just keep going.
In these discursive arguments, it is alone which leads to a truth. It is knowledge alone which leads to a truth. It is opinion alone which leads to a truth, which is a single, right?
According to this passage, Alexander, when we're fighting with words, so we have an argument and we're not fighting with our hands, but we're fighting with words. According to this passage, what is the best tool in a fight of words?
In physical battles, the correct implement.
Yeah, don't think about the physical ones. Think about the words. So when we're fighting with words, what is the correct implement? What is the correct tool?
arguments.
Domenico's figured it out in the chat, and Chen has too.
I don't see chat, sorry.
All right. So I'll help you out. I'll help you out with these ones a little bit. So in physical battles, the correct implement. The correct implement means the correct tool is strength, right? If I'm stronger, I'm going to beat up the other guy. G.
Oh, right.
Okay. In discursive arguments, it is reason. It's my ability to logic, to reason, which is going to win me the fight, right? So, oh, you sound more logical. I will give you the victory, right? Now, you're probably going, but Adrian, we already used G, right? We used it up here. So we used it twice, which can't happen. One of these has to be changed, okay? So opinion has no impact on the something of the opinion, and here we used strength, and here we use strength. We need to use strength here, so we need to change this. So we go back to going, okay, well, what is that one? So what can that one be? If I had to change that, I would probably change it to the truth of the opinion. It has no impact on the truth of the opinion, okay?
Okay.
But overall, Alexander, you did a fantastic job, all right? And I'm sure if I had given you a little bit more time, you would have come up potentially with all these correct answers. So you were using good logic, you were using good critical thinking. That's exactly what you need to do. The trick here that I'm showing everybody with your help and with Ipshita's help is that you have to try to figure out what goes into the blank on your own first, and then look at the choices. One of the biggest mistakes that a lot of IELTS students make is they look at the choices and then they hope that the choices will kind of give the answer and like, okay, that's the one. But it doesn't work that way because, as you can see, it gets very confusing if you do it that way. So you always have to think, what would I put in there according to this passage first, and then choose the one that matches that idea.
Okay, clear.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Alexander, thank you for volunteering. Have an awesome rest of your day.
Same for you too. Same. Have a nice weekend, by the way.
You too. Thank you. Bye for now.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
All right, that was Alexander. That was awesome. Everybody, that was the reading passage. If you want to try these last two multiple choice questions on your own, by all means, you can send me the answers for that to my email. We've run out of time, but everybody's done a fantastic job of reading and answering, and we got through the list of headings and the summary completion, and you've learned the right tools and the right logic for how to do this kind of reading. So philosophy, important, right? We use philosophy in everyday life. We just don't realize it. We use it every time we get into an argument, whether it's in school or with our boyfriend or girlfriend or mom or dad. We're using philosophy. We're using the ability to reason. So studying philosophy is a very valuable tool indeed. Students, to get all of our books, practice exams, videos, aehelp.com, gieltshelp.com. Those are the websites. They will help you to improve your ability to reason and your scores on the IELTS exam. I will be back, everybody, in 30 minutes with another class. That will be a task 1, pie charts. And subscribers will be able to join the chat. So subscribe to the channel. Click that bell notification button. Know when these live classes are happening. Know when we release new videos. Members, thank you so much for your contributions. Awesome work. Chen, I was very impressed by your use of logic in the chat. That was fantastic. Okay. Keep it up and see you in half an hour. Thank you, Carolina, for moderating. That was awesome. I'm Adrian. I'll be back soon.